Welcome to Engagement Fundraising, where you'll learn how busy fundraisers like you are generating more major and planned gifts at lower costs. Brought to you by iMarketSmart.com, the software and services company that helps nonprofits raise more money more efficiently.
Tim. Oh my gosh. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah. Season 3. We had our summer break. We're back though.
Yeah.
You got this book coming out soon.
Does it matter in a podcast that it's another season? It doesn't really matter, does it?
You know, a little bit. I don't know.
To you, but not to the listener. It doesn't matter at all.
It matters that we're back. That's what matters.
It does. And I'm so happy to be back with you. I missed you, Tim.
Yeah, it's like we haven't talked since we did the podcast last.
Right. I see you over there. I yell at you. I yell across. It's all good. What are we doing? 410 billion. Yay! Yay! 410 billion. Yay! The charity people are giving. Yay!
Yeah, so if you couldn't tell based on that, we're going to talk about Giving USA's 2018 report that they do every year.
Okay.
First off, to get into it, it's $410 billion. That's a lot of money. What do you think?
It is a lot of money. It's a record, right? More money was given to charity than ever.
Yeah. First time over $400 billion.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't exactly happy.
Not exactly, no.
Not exactly happy. Wah! It's not as good as we thought. Wah! So there's problems. There's problems.
Yeah.
Leave it to the nonprofit sector to throw a wet blanket over such amazing success. But, you know, that's all right. Everybody likes to kick everything around and be like, all right, it wasn't so great. It wasn't, no victory lap for anybody.
No.
The donors don't deserve praise.
One of the things is the DAFs. A lot of money in foundations and DAFs.
A lot of money went to foundations and DAFs. That's right. And then we got to fix the money. You know my opinion about that.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
As do the listeners.
And we'll get to that in a little bit. And also there's less households are giving. It keeps reducing. The percentage of households that are giving is less. Fewer households are giving. More people are putting their money in what you could call holding pens. Mm-hmm. Usually the rich are putting their money in foundations or donor-advised funds.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. The numbers are great. Mm-hmm. Giving increased.
Yeah.
But there's less people giving, which clearly means the rich are getting richer.
Which is accurate.
And they are giving more, but they're not giving it directly to charities. They're putting the money in holding pens, like donor-advised funds and foundations. So this is not good. The democratic aspect of philanthropy is dying.
Sure. More money in fewer people's hands, and they're making more of the decisions as to where that money goes. Sure.
We're not at a tipping point. Nowhere near it, by the way. Yes, is the democratization of giving slightly eroding? Sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it kept going on this route for 100 years, making up a number because I didn't do the math.
Yeah.
But sure, there'd be 7 people doing all the charitable giving.
Yeah, which
7.
That could lead to a problem with, what kind of issues are being tackled.
Right, because then your hospital needs some funding, but one of the 7, decides, no, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah.
I get it. Mm-hmm. It's on the radar. I got it. Let's not write a whole article and do a whole podcast on that. But the populist fundraisers, I think I did a podcast on this and written blog posts on what I call the populist fundraising and the democratization of giving but populism and democracy, really has to do with voting.
Sure.
It's not in the Constitution. Democracy and populism is expressed in political voting.
Yes, that's accurate.
Right.
Yeah.
It is not in the Constitution that there should be democratization and a populist method of charitable giving. For everybody who wants more democratization and populism in fundraising, go to another country. It ain't in the Constitution. Now, some would say, well, hold on, we need more regulation because donor-advised funds, the holding pens, this, that, the other, and the rich are getting richer. Okay, I don't have any solutions for the macroeconomics.
Yeah, it's a big problem. How do you encourage businesses to give more to employees? And that's not something we will discuss on this podcast, no.
Not really. It's a little bit above my pay grade. But what we can talk about is to add to these two things, the holding pens, the fewer household giving, is that retention rates are only getting worse. And that you can see, especially among the lower dollar donors, it's worse. The higher dollar donors, retention rates are much better.
Sure.
Let's put all this together, and let me put it all together.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put it all together. I saw a lot of articles about all this stuff. There's always articles and people talking on blogs about retention rates. There's plenty of people talking about the holding pens and the reduction in households of giving. Okay, so I've been screaming from the hilltops that everybody's missing something about all this. Let me do it. All right, are you ready? Drum roll. Okay. What everybody's missing is that the value proposition for donors is not good enough. I mean, if you want to complain about what's happening, you have to recognize that the problem is really one about value.
Like if you put money in a DAF, that just means you haven't figured out the value proposition in a nonprofit, that you need some more time with that.
You need more time. That's right. You want to give. And in fact, by putting money in a DAF, you get to give twice, sort of.
Yeah. You get to feel good about putting money into the DAF and then feel good again about putting it towards a cause.
If you've ever met anybody who's wealthy and has a donor-advised fund, guess what? You go tell them that you don't like the fact that they have a donor-advised fund. You go tell them that. They will smack you upside the head. They love their donor-advised fund.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
Cartwheels and somersaults, clowns and, cotton candy, unicorns and elephants and enough.
Yeah. All the happy things.
They love it. So if they love it, you got to ask yourself why. And the answer of why people love stuff is always about value. They get a tremendous amount of value from it. So what's the value? They get to give twice, essentially.
Yep.
They get to be more mindful about the decision that they're about to make so that they don't end up with donor remorse by making a mistake. It's convenient. It's easy. There's a lot of value in a donor-advised fund for somebody. Plus, they get the tax write-off right away.
Sure.
Right? It's friggin' great.
Yeah.
You're going to argue with them about it? And then the fact is, though, people will say, well, they don't transfer enough money out of their DAF fast enough. Well,
that's your problem to solve, to create more value.
Well,
I guess, right?
Thank you. If you created more value, more urgency, more impact, more good vibes, more engagement, more proof that what they did was great, maybe they would transfer more faster.
And if you identify who has a DAF, that they might be good people to talk to.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we do, of course. Market smart. But here's the funny thing when it comes to DAFs. I think on average about 20% of the money in DAFs gets given away each year. So some say that's not enough, but mandated by the government, foundations only have to give away 5%. And nobody seemed to complain about that for the longest time. Now DAFs come around and it's 20%.
Sure.
And people are upset about it. And they even say we got to make it that there's a requirement that people give away their money. And I'm like, good, what are you going to make it? Well, 5%. I'm like, well, that's wonderful. You do that, and we will reduce it from 20% to 5%, because everybody will be like, well, I'm only supposed to give away 5%. And I know people are like, that's ridiculous. That won't happen. They'll still give away 20%. Well,
why bother?
Well, then why make it 5%? Why not make it 50% or 80%?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot of goofy stuff.
This episode is brought to you by us here at MarketSmart and the Fundraising Report Card. What is the Fundraising Report Card? Well, it's a free service offered at fundraisingreportcard.com that enhances your fundraising efforts with easy-to-use analytics and charts. Get your proposals approved faster by using these beautiful and elegant charts created automatically with fundraisingreportcard.com. You'll also find a great blog that dives deep into what data means for your organization and how you can use it effectively to make smarter decisions. Start learning and start generating beautiful charts by going to fundraisingreportcard.com. Now, back to the episode.
It's all about the value proposition. And here's the other thing. Let's add this into the mix. You ready? You ready for this? Another drum roll? Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dunkin' Donuts. You're
okay,
like,
yeah.
What does Dunkin' Donuts have anything to do with it? Their revenue last year was up 4%. That's pretty good.
It's good. Yeah.
It's pretty good. Any nonprofit might be pretty happy with that. They serve the middle class.
Sure.
They serve the democracy and the populists.
Deliver value, saving you time in the morning, getting faster food, all that, your drink. Yeah.
You know, here, before I go into the conclusion, let me, of why I'm mentioning that. How about Walmart, right? Walmart's revenue last year increased from 2016 to 2017. It went from $478 billion. Holy cow, that's a lot of money. to $481 billion. Is that right? Wow.
America shops at Walmart. They've taken over.
They really do.
You're either at Amazon or Walmart.
Apple, I thought Apple was the biggest, but I guess they're just the most profitable or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think profits.
So they went from $215 billion to almost $230 billion. Netflix went from $8 billion plus to $11 billion plus. So hold on. Talking about democratization and populism.
Sure.
These are like the most democratic. Everybody has this stuff.
Yeah.
And these guys and gals are increasing their revenue by massive amounts.
Yeah. They found a value proposition that works for them.
How about that? Why don't you just take away my thunder? I was going to ask you why.
Oh, sorry.
And then ask me why.
Why do you think this is, Greg? What does Walmart and Apple have in common? They're very different.
Drum roll.
companies.
Because they figured out a value proposition that works for their donors.
Wow.
Customers.
Donors, yes. One of the same, I guess. Yeah.
No, it's okay. You could take my my thunder. That's all right. Just clear out your desk on the way out. It's all about value.
Yeah.
What the people who are concerned about retention rates and about holding pens and reductions in household giving, I think what they really need to do is examine the value proposition that they are providing to supporters. Even from the very simple thing, how easy is it for your supporters to give? How fun is it?
Yeah.
How much do you report back what you did with their money? How much do you give them engagement experiences that provide even more value? I mean, and so on and so forth. You have to remove the friction and make it convenient and make people feel good. It's really not all that complicated.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people get in the way. And then instead of focusing inward on themselves and on the sector and what the sector is doing wrong that's thwarting progress and even more giving to occur, they want to look at other reasons of why it's not them.
Right.
I think that's really a bad idea. It's a jagged pill, but they need to take it. There.
Okay.
Is that okay?
It's okay.
I mean, do we have anything else to say, or is this short and sweet? It just comes down to value. Let's not overthink it. All right, welcome back. It's good to see you, since I've been seeing you every day anyway. But we can pretend that the new season matters. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Engage in Fundraising. If you like the show, make sure to review it on iTunes and pass it along to a colleague. If you are curious about what we do, check out iMarketSmart.com and don't forget to try out Fundraising Report Card at www.fundraisingreportcard.com. Thanks again for listening to this episode of Engage in Fundraising.